Hey guys, Zoom here. So since this post is getting a little lengthy, I wanted to share this part with you in video form, also because I think it'll do a lot better justice to the story. So there I am. I'm standing kind of at the edge of center camp. If you look at the map, you can see where that is. And I can see Alien Siege Machine kind of off in the distance. It's not too far from center camp. There's fire and smoke and lights, and this is not uncommon at a burn. You know, this stuff is on fire all the time here. Burning Man. So I didn't think much about it, but as I'm looking at it, you know, the light show looks really cool. There's obviously something on there, and I can kind of hear this really faint drum beat if the wind is blowing the right way. And so I say, oh my God, is today Friday? Are they having that ceremony? And so I go over there because I want to watch it. And as I get closer, I can see that there's a huge crowd of people standing in front of Alien Siege Machine. And there's these green spotlights shining upon the art structure. And I can see that underneath him on a podium is this woman. And she has a microphone and she's saying, we must awaken the alien, you know, like clap your hands, stomp your feet. And there's this really tribal ceremony happening. There's drum beats, there's like Indian, kind of like Native American music happening, and people in front of her are performing the awakening ritual. So they're all full on in costume and they're stomping their feet, they're clapping their hands, they're like, ooh, you know, and doing these like weird lines, something you would see straight out of like a freaking cult movie. In front of the group, and, you know, I'm just standing on the sidelines here. In front of the group, I can see that there's a couple people in white lab coats with, like, chemistry goggles on their head, and they're running around, like, touching people, like, stop, don't do it, you're gonna regret this, like, they're gonna enslave us all, the aliens, they just want to conquer us, and they're the opposing faction, the scientists. So, I watched this for a little while, and just something about the drums, something about the music, something about watching all these people like get so into it. You know, I mean, I'm thinking that they really believe this thing is going to come alive. Like this machine is actually going to like rear its head and you know, start talking to us and we'll find out who was right. But just something about it, I drop my Camelback on the ground and I go over and I join the ranks. And I start stomping my feet, I start waving my arms, I start following the movements. It was kind of like a workout video. I start following the movements that the leader's giving us. We roar, we howl, we scream, you know, we make these like super primal sounds. And, you know, she says like, oh, we have to form a shape, like make a circle. And so I grab people's hands next to me, we make a circle, we start going like Ring Around the Rosie style, and it was so primal. Just all those like instincts coming out, the roaring, the howling, the not giving any fucks what anybody is thinking about us right now. In that moment, it clicked. One of the 10 principles is immediacy, and that was something that I had never done before in my life, and something that I didn't really understand, like immediacy, living in the moment, like presence, you know, being present, you know, I didn't really understand what that meant until right then. Dropping everything, being in that moment, living for the right then, and not thinking about anything outside of our ceremony was exactly what that was. So in that moment, the fire lit inside me and I really started burning, is what we call it. We say, are you burning yet? And it's like, have you reached that moment where you're totally immersed in what's going on here? And that was it. And so we finish up the ceremony, and as they start to get towards the end, the Alien Siege Machine, his head actually does come up, and he lets out this, like, deafening roar. The scientists all run for it, and the lady's like, we awaken the alien, you know, and then they kind of wrap up the ceremony. And I walk away just with this spring in my step, this big old derpy, like smile on my face, and that moment, that life-changing moment that everybody had talked about in all my research, I'm like getting emotional over here, had clicked for me. And so leaving the playa at the end of the burn, that is one of the biggest things that I have to contribute to what I'm going to talk about in post 3, of how Burning Man has carried into the rest of my life. I started burning in that moment, and I was totally immersed and understood the whole concept of Burning Man, what the whole city was about, what everybody there was trying to accomplish, what everyone there was hoping to feel. it was amazing. So after Alien Siege Machine, I had a whole different attitude for the last couple days. We went, of course, to the Manburn. It was wonderful. And I was able to enjoy the rest of the festival just so much more. Like I said, there's so much so many stories that I want to tell you guys about, and I just can't. I just don't have the room. So I think I'm going to record a separate video with just like a couple of my favorites, and if you'd like to listen to that, the link is going to be in the footnote of the post, so you can just click there. But I hope you come back for post 3 so that you can see how this experience with the Alien Siege Machine, practicing immediacy, the 10 principles, has overflowed into what we call the default world, or the rest of my life, and how it's definitely changed me for the better. Thanks so much, guys, for listening and reading. I hope you're enjoying this.